Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. We got a lot to talk about today. I got my main man Marshall, my sidekick, to keep me company here. Now, we have to talk about what's transpired in the last 48 hours. Some big things have happened. This thing is escalating in a major way, and nobody really realizes it. If you haven't watched my video that we released earlier today with Ron from Atlas Survival Shelters, one of the biggest bunker building contractors in the world, and one of the most advanced, in my opinion, he's talking about how the elites are prepping. He's getting phone calls from all kinds of billionaires who are wanting bunkers built. They're preparing for something. Unfortunately, they're gobbling up all of the raw materials that are...
And that is something that I was talking about in a previous video. And I don't know if you guys remember that. It wasn't very long ago. And it was a video where I was discussing how and I used the phrase 1%. And then I proceeded to say, or make a statement as far as your annual income and at what income levels you probably are at a point where certain things just don't really affect you the same way they would affect someone else in a lower income bracket. Basically, going to the store and going food shopping, filling up your fuel tank with fuel, gasoline, or diesel. And I wasn't saying that in a $200,000 to $300,000 a year income bracket that you were the 1%. So I just want to clarify that. And but ultimately, those in these higher income brackets, those considered 1%, those considered 0.5%, these are the elites that Canadian Prepper is talking about, and billionaires who have access to funds beyond your imagination, and the fact that their worries aren't going to be the same as our worries because, like I said, they're not worried about food shortages, mainly because they can afford to buy anything. And more than likely, we're going to see food prices escalate through inflation uh, before we actually see the shelves completely bare and completely empty. Now, hear me out. If you are, and I'm going based off of videos that I've seen other YouTubers post, videos that my wife Michelle puts up on preparing for survival, and I'm seeing a new trend in the stores, particularly on the items that were once a high likelihood that they were going to be, there was going to be a shortage of these items in the stores on the shelves. And what I'm noticing now is that these items are on the shelves and usually stocked, completely stocked. None of this fronting stuff where it's just one on the front and everything behind it is empty. They're stocked. But I also noticed, and you guys let me know if you've noticed the same thing, that these items now cost more. And the logic and reasoning behind this is the simple fact that, hey, if I'm the grocery store, one, I don't want to get the reputation of being out of stock. I don't want to get the reputation of empty shelves. I don't want to get the reputation of my store having food shortages. So what do? I need to do the best I can to make sure my store looks as full as possible at all times. In addition to, if there is truly a limited supply of these goods, these foods, these resources, these necessities that we need, if there truly is a limited supply, then as the store, as the business that the store is, you have to look at the bottom line and realize, well, if we're going to make $1 on every item we sell and we have 100 items, at best we're going to make $100. And then if we can't get any more, what are we going to do? So the only logical, reasonable explanation from that point is we have to raise our price to make more on the 100 items we have to sell, and because we know it needs to carry us until we can get more. So the stores, in my opinion, are looking much better in terms of inventory, but not so much in terms of price. But because the higher price, it allows their shelves to stay fuller, and this pours over into the higher income, the elites, the billionaires. Obviously, the billionaires probably aren't running to the grocery stores doing their own shopping. They have people that they hire to do that for them. But at the end of the day, if the stores want to jack their prices up sky high to maintain inventory, maintain profits, maintain an image, they can, because though food is a necessity, you have to have it. And eventually everyone else, every other competitor is going to follow suit, and or they're going to run out. Then they're empty. And then your only choice is this higher price store. So those who have the funds, and honestly, for what Canadian Prepper is talking about here and what they would invest financially to build a safe haven, a bunker of sorts to protect them and their families from what is coming next. You know, paying $10 a gallon, $10 a gallon for milk, $10 a pound for chicken, paying $5 an avocado is nothing. It's nothing to them. Like, it doesn't matter. But I wanna hear what else he has to say about this.
Fire to make the bunkers. There's not enough Swiss-made air filtration MBC systems to go around. So it's just hell is breaking loose all over the place. The supply chain continues to be in shambles. We are short of stock of pretty much everything right now. If you can get things right now, get them now. That's all I'm going to say. It's better to be 5 years too early than 5 seconds too late.
So he's making a good point there. And yes, everybody, this is not a message to stop preparing. This is just a message to broaden your horizon on what you're preparing for and how you're preparing. And, you know, like he said, there's a shortage of supply. Now, even though these elites are in this bracket and have this ability, eventually what they want and what they need and what these manufacturers would need to build out these bunkers for them, these construction companies, you know, those will run out too. And then, you know, if there's a finite amount of resources for that, then the price of the bunkers are going to go up as well. I mean, this is just how business works. You know, the businesses, and you know, we are a capitalist country, and profit is the bottom line. Like, that's what it's all about.
Not wait till emergency strikes. You cannot wait till your house is on fire to buy insurance. Get the gear, the skills, the mindset, the community you need now before it hits the fan.
Yeah, now he's got a really good point there. And I do appreciate everybody who is here in this community. I really do. I think that together we can help each other, not even necessarily physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and, you know, through education and in the comments and just a collective effort to share information, share what we're seeing, good, bad, or indifferent, share what we're seeing around different parts of the country, different parts of the world. But, you know, you have to prepare now. Don't wait till your house is on fire to get insurance. 5 years early is better than 5 seconds too late. And this applies to the money too. It does. Because, you know, ultimately it is a tool to get what you need. And, you know, what you're going to need down the road is more than likely going to be food, because eventually even every stockpile is going to be depleted. And at that point in time, if people are actually going through stockpiles and need to re-up, then you have to believe and you have to know that the the cost at that point in time is going to be the highest that we have ever seen. Yeah, somebody said this sounds like somebody trying to sell an investment course, and that is the furthest thing from my mind. I'm just trying to bring information to help everybody be better prepared, because the vast majority of news media outlets are not sharing this information in the way that we really need to receive it, the way that I feel that we need to receive it, just by keeping it real and being honest, and hoping that you guys are doing all you can. I know a lot of you are. I know a lot of you are doing all you can, because you're telling me every day. I see it in the comments, and you know, you're doing all you can as far as the food and the prepping and the stockpiling, and you know, focusing on hitting deals and saving money in every way possible. But I'm not necessarily hearing from the comments a lot of people talking about the financial component of it and doing what they can to increase their earnings and increase their income, because this is no lie. I mean, the Jerome Powell just increased interest rates again, 50 basis points, and we're going to see more hikes throughout 2022, and we are definitely going to see more in 2023. And as the rates go up, you know, everything just ends up costing more to buy. Everything costs more to finance. Everything, like inflation. I was reading an article and it said we have inflation on top of inflation. So even if we come down, we're just coming down to regular inflation. So making sure that you have, diesel is like it's like the record high of diesel prices ever recorded, 5.40 a gallon, I think. But that's like an average, because I've seen in some instances like diesel's like $6, $7, $8 a gallon. So, the prices are going up, and the stock market is just tumbling, and it's kind of like this unrealistic, unbelievable roller coaster ride, because nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what to do. There's no real sense of like direction and certainty from the Fed, and how to make, sound, solid predictions of what's best for investors moving forward. And there's questionable ideas that Bitcoin could drop to near 20,000, and the negative consequences that would have on the effects that it would have negatively across the entire market, like every market, would be devastating. Not to mention, the housing market is cooling off as far as the reports say. Now, I do think that every property is going to be different. We have a little slightly different experience personally right now, but overall, the housing market is cooling off for the simple fact that houses are very expensive, and it costs more to borrow the money. People are becoming less qualified. In addition to huge uncertainty in the future of the markets, like why would you want to jump in on real estate right now at the top of the game with higher interest rates and huge uncertainty in the market, facing a possible recession, and now you're sitting on this overpriced property that you can't afford to pay for? Like, I can understand why it's cooling off. And we're just going to see more and more of this going on. But with that said, the supply is still not catching up with the demand. So even though we're seeing these negative results of inflation, and it possibly causing a reversal, correction, crash, maybe, until we can get that supply level up, food is always going to be a struggle, and it's always going to be an outlier, and pretty much does its own thing because it's limited. And with that, it's like, is this food limited? Like, is it really limited, or are we being limited on the food? Because maybe powers that be, there's some higher ups out there, there's some key decision makers that are saying, look, we cannot unleash this to everybody. We cannot, because we have plans, we have wheels in motion, and if we release this, sure, it would solve so many problems, but it would also disrupt our own plans that we have, which is about the money. So I just hope everybody's paying attention and really listening to what's going on and what's being said, especially with Canadian Prepper here and what he was saying in his video, understanding the message behind the elites, the 1%, the billionaires, investing in bunkers and ways to protect themselves physically. Because if it's going on that scale right now, then you have to understand and realize that they are in tune. They know something's coming, and we need to be mindful of what actions that they're taking to protect them and their families and their businesses and their livelihoods, and try to do our best to apply it on our level. Because if the warning siren starts sounding, I don't want to be there when it happens. I want to be gone, because I was paying attention to the signs before the sirens already went off. I don't want to be stuck in the evacuation plan traffic jam trying to get out because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't ready. I hope you guys want to be in the same position and have as much knowledge and preparation as possible, just to make sure that when SHTF occurs that you're not ground zero sitting there saying, all right, now what do I do? Now help me prepare. Now I want to, you know, increase my income to be able to afford the fuel to get out of here, to be able to afford a plane ticket out of here, to be able to afford somewhere else to stay that isn't my home because I've been displaced, because who knows what has happened, you know? But anyway, I'm not trying to frighten you guys. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to inform you and help you better prepare. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. And please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, share it with friends and family. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.